I've been working my way through Demon's Souls since I got my hands on the PlayStation 5. I never played the original Demon's Souls on PlayStation 3, so I was really excited to take on this challenge since I got to the Souls series a little late. But I came dangerously close to quitting Demon's Souls just because of the way the game is and the way the challenges are set up. There was just something about this game that didn't feel familiar to me after a while, and I thought that was pretty surprising considering I played through all the other Souls games, played through Bloodborne, played through Sekiro, but something about Demon's Souls just did not jive with how I played these games. So in today's video, we're not going to talk about the 3 best ways you can maximize your Demon's Souls build or how to beat that one boss. Today we're going to talk about how I mentally overcame the mental block that was stopping me from succeeding in Demon's Souls. And hopefully this applies to a situation you're in if you're stuck in Demon's Souls or any video game, to be honest, because really, I think this logic applies to every game you can play. At least games that have a higher than normal difficulty. And in case you want to hop around this video, just make sure you check the description below. Anybody who's played any of From Software's Souls-like games know that they're in for a challenge. They're choosing that challenge, and if they're not, they're going to find out pretty quickly that that's the path they're on. It's easy to dismiss the desire to play a Souls-like as a need to fulfill a pride, a need to prove oneself in the arena of combat that is video games. And while I think it is true to some extent that most of the Souls community does just enjoy these challenges, I also think there's something more to it. Because for me personally, it's less about the challenge and more about me overcoming myself during that challenge. I get a lot of enjoyment out of knowing that I told myself I couldn't do a thing, I told myself it was hard and too difficult, and then I just watched myself do that thing. There's something about that for me, and that's the excitement I get out of these games. So I let the Souls games get in my way, and I challenge myself to find ways around the obstacles that are in front of me. And while it's quite mentally exhausting, I always find myself on the other side, and I always find myself happy I did it, and also willing never to go back. There are very few instances where I want to play a Souls game over again or find myself needing to play it. I think Sekiro is the closest one that I've come to playing again just because that game is very satisfying. It prioritizes skill over leveling up, and that to me was very fun. But anyway, we're talking about Demon's Souls. How can you prepare yourself for the challenges that Demon's Souls provides? So the first thing to keep in mind when it comes to Demon's Souls is that it is the first Souls-like game. It is the game that kicked off the entire genre. So with that in mind, it does a lot of things that you might have experienced in newer Souls-like games that Demon's Souls actually pioneered. Talking about gimmicky boss fights, talking about boss fights that require you to be fast, and just areas that completely want to tear you apart. This game is designed to beat you up mentally, and honestly, it does a great job of that. So with that in mind, you have to be willing to put your pride aside and learn what this game is about to throw at you and do a little research ahead of time. Now, this isn't to say to look up all the spoilers for a Souls game. I personally like figuring out challenges on my own, but as soon as I recognize that I'm banging my head against a brick wall that has a secret door that I just don't know about yet, I'm gonna start looking for the secret door. I spent a good amount of time banging my head against the Man-Eater boss and also banging my head against the Flame Lurker boss. Both of these enemies just had me stumped. I wasn't prepared. Something was off about the way I was fighting them, but I just kept going and going and trying because that's something I learned in Sekiro. If at first you don't succeed, try and try and try until eventually you figure it out and you move on. But that strategy will not work in Demon's Souls for 2 very integral reasons. And the first reason is that you need to be certain levels to fight certain bosses. I'm not saying they're impossible to beat at lower levels, it's just gonna take you longer, and the average player just wants to get through this game. So if you're gonna start Demon's Souls, it's worthwhile to explore what leveling path you wanna take and commit to it. So if you wanna use strength-based weapons, make sure that you find a strength-based weapon you like, keep it, level up your strength stat, and go from there. Because if you don't level your character correctly and you're playing this game casually, you're gonna have a hard time. So in my scenario, I was simply barking up the wrong tree and not looking for the right way to fight these bosses. When it came to the Flame Lurker, I learned that I needed a fire-resistant shield so that I could literally block most of the damage that he causes. So I went on a quest to find the purple flame shield, and all of a sudden, the Flame Lurker died. It's actually a little offensive how little damage you take once you have the purple flame shield. And when it came to the Man-Eater boss, I wasn't prioritizing having enough health items. I just did not have enough Crescent Moon Grass or whatever. And that's actually the second mistake I made when I tried to treat Demon's Souls like Sekiro. This game does not replenish your health vial bottle. It just makes you go and find healing items in the world. If you're not constantly stocking up on healing grass, then you're not gonna make it very far in this game. And unfortunately, that means you're gonna have to grind up a little bit. You're gonna have to have the in-game currency, which also levels your character up, and use that to buy healing items or find them in the world. And when it came to the Man-Eater boss, I wasn't prioritizing having enough healing items for the fight. I was just going in there with no healing items thinking I could just no-hit this boss. Not the case. I was getting hit almost immediately, almost all the time, even knowing how to fight the boss, even knowing the boss's patterns. It's just almost impossible to get through this fight for me without getting hit. You always need to make sure that you're fully stocked on Moongrass so that you at least have a chance when it comes to surviving these areas. Because my one strategy for all of the Souls games is that you can't beat a boss if you're too dead to fight it. The overarching point I'm trying to make is that you need to give yourself a fighting chance with Demon Souls because the game is going to beat you up if you don't. It's going to take advantage of the fact that you're ill-prepared, and it will just make you do the same thing over and over again, and nobody likes that. I think that's the biggest reason folks give up on Souls games in general, because a lot of times you'll find yourself doing the same thing over and over and over again. But when you get that win, when you beat that boss, when you get to that shortcut, I've done something, I'm gonna move forward. And it's an effort, and it's, you know, maybe not for everybody, but it is enjoyable, at least for me. If you have a friend who is good at these games, or at least a little well-versed in them, talk to them while you're playing Demon Souls, because it's fun to do that. My friend Mark talked me out of a cycle of trying the same thing over again. He told me some things, go find this item, go find that item. He did a great job of not spoiling things for me, and it's been a lot of fun just having him to bounce things off of and say, hey, I'm having trouble. What you got? He, you know, would tell me whatever tips he's got and show me a guide that he used. Because this is that kind of game. Demon Souls and all the Souls games are the kind of games that you want to go into with someone behind you, someone to keep you interested, someone to talk about, hey, I had a great time fighting this boss. Oh yeah, that boss gave me a horrible time, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. That kind of conversation, to me, at least makes these games a lot more bearable and fun. So if you're having trouble with Demon Souls, don't give up, but do try new things, do give yourself a fighting chance, and I promise it'll be worth it when you get to the other side. So let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. Like this video if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. And if you want to support my channel, the best way to do that is by sharing this video with a friend who will just not listen to your advice when it comes to Demon Souls. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck in Demon Souls, and I'll see you in the next video.